Good evening, friends, and welcome to the Dreary Midnight Podcast. My name is Lisa. My pronouns are she, they.
My name is Celeste. My pronouns are she, her.
And what are we talking about tonight, Celeste?
Tonight, we are going to be talking about the Winchester house.
Ooh, let's get into it. Intro music.
Intro
Music.
Love the accompaniment.
All right. So I've heard of the
Winchester house. This has been one of my, I don't want to say hyperfixations because...
Has it been your Roman Empire?
It's sometimes, yeah, it's my Roman Empire. It's been a Roman Empire of mine since high school when I first learned about it. Mostly because it's in San Jose, which is only about a 9-hour drive from LA, where I grew up.
Only 9 hours.
I know. So I was like,
listen,
man.
9 hours I can get through all of the Commonwealth of Virginia and most of the way of North Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, California, you could drive 9 hours and still be in California. No, because legitimately, in early college, my family took a road trip to San Francisco. And I was like, San Jose is only like an hour away from San Francisco. We can go to the Winchester house. But no, we went to Alcatraz instead, which was also cool.
I mean, that was one of your first episodes, right?
Yeah. Wait, did I do Alcatraz?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, You did the funky photo of your sister, right?
Yeah. But I can't remember if I did a whole Alcatraz episode.
I think you
Or
were
if I
just a
just
real spooky
alluded to
stories
it.
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
If I was literally telling Lisa this today. It is so hard to keep track of what we've actually done.
Yeah.
And we have to update our Google Doc so that we know.
Start putting on it. We've discussed this, but haven't actually done it yet.
If we have done Alcatraz, that's fantastic. If we haven't, then I have to do that in the near future.
Yeah. Anyway, Winchester Mystery House.
Winchester Mystery House.
So I know the general backstory of it, where the Winchester is the rifle that won the West or whatever.
Yes,
and
we'll get into that.
Sarah Winchester goes out west and
builds a giant
house, and some folks say that she was doing it because she was consulting a medium, and the medium said, "Okay, your next steps are here."
Don't take my whole episode from me.
But I've also heard, to finish that thought out, that she was just sort of doing it to keep the locals employed, and some of the staircases to nowhere were affected by earthquakes, and they were actually staircases to somewhere.
We'll get into all that.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm going to start, though, from the very beginning.
Very beginning.
Sarah Winchester herself and her early life.
All right.
Because it's a Winchester House episode, but it's mostly a Sarah episode.
Okay, I love that.
All right. So, starting from the beginning, for those who have never heard of this. Ooh. Sarah Lockwood Pardee was born in 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut, to a wealthy family. She was well educated. She spoke 5 languages. Damn. She was well versed in literature, math, and science. Yeah. I mean, she was
smart.
Yeah. She was smart and she was wealthy. And she was beautiful, apparently.
Do you know which languages?
No. But if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say probably English, Latin, French. I was thinking of what New
year
England.
Was this?
1839.
In England or
in
America?
In Connecticut.
In Connecticut. So Greek's probably on there as well.
Greek.
So English, Greek, Latin.
I'm going to say French because that seems.
And another one to be fun.
Italian?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. She was little. She was 4'10" and 95 pounds.
Oh my God.
I know. She was itty bitty. And she was dubbed the Belle of New Haven because she was apparently also very pretty.
All right.
I think she was pretty. I saw pictures of her.
Yeah.
The Pardee family was close with their neighbors, the Winchesters, as in the Winchester family of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, the firearms company.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, because some people don't know, there were different I think Wesson is another firearm
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Winchester is a firearm company.
Yeah. Are they still
In
around?
Huh, I actually don't know. Let me check that. Pause to check. Have a website. Yeah, it's a lot more modern nowadays.
Makes sense.
But yes, the Winchester Company is still around. On September 30th, 1862, Sarah married William Wirt Winchester, who was one of the sons of the Winchester family. You know what I just noticed? She was born 39 and she got married in 62. How old was she?
23.
Oh, okay. It's a reasonable age. 4 years later, on July 12th, 1866, Sarah gave birth to a daughter named Annie.
Oh.
Tragically, Annie was born with Malaysia, meaning she could not absorb nutrients, and she died at only 5.5 weeks old.
Oh.
I know. And they did not have any other children.
Oh.
The Winchester Company had a patented lever action repeating rifle, which was a very popular design, popular with everyone from Annie Oakley to Teddy Roosevelt.
All right.
It was a popular gun company.
I mean, also, it's the 1860s.
Exactly.
They're probably making bank off of the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in 1873, the Winchester rifle Model 73 was released, becoming known as the gun that won the West. That's what you
Okay.
were alluding to.
Okay.
It brought immense wealth for the family, which not surprising, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
In 1880, Oliver Winchester, the patriarch of the Winchester family, died, leaving the company to his only remaining son, which was William,
Who's married to Sarah?
who's married Sarah. Tragically, only 3 months after Oliver's death, William himself died of tuberculosis at the age of 43, which
Oh.
is very young. Sarah inherited William's vast fortune, an estimated $20 million, plus 50% of the Winchester Company. And that's $20 million in like back then, which is $167 million today.
Damn.
I know. That woman was loaded.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Hey.
Her daughter died in 1866, and then between the autumn of 1880 and spring 1881, Sarah's mother, father-in-law, and husband all died.
Oof.
And then in 1884, her eldest sister died.
Oof.
Lots of people
It's
dying.
a lot of loss in, like, essentially a year.
Yeah.
Right?
Sarah consulted a medium in New Haven shortly
Okay.
after William's death. I'm going to say between William's death and her sister dying, probably.
Yeah.
The medium told her to start a new life out west and warned her that she wouldn't be alone.
Okay.
At the same time, Sarah began developing rheumatoid arthritis, and her doctor also suggested that a warmer and drier climate, such as going out west, would help improve her health. So in 1885, at the age of 46, she moved to California.
Okay.
A year later, in 1885, a year later, in 1886, she purchased a 2-story, 8-room farmhouse on a 40-acre plot near San Jose that would soon grow into her beloved Llanada Villa. That's what it was called. Before it was called the Winchester Mystery House.
Okay.
And then she began remodeling, and she kept on building. So from 1886 to 1922, construction on the house seemingly never ceased. Over the years, the original farmhouse became unrecognizable, turning into a 24,000 square foot mansion with approximately 160 rooms, 13 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, 10,000 windows,
Oof.
2,000 doors,
Damn.
52 skylights, 47 stairways, 47 fireplaces, and 17 chimneys.
Oh my God.
You might notice the ratios here are a little off.
Yeah.
For example, 47 fireplaces and 17 chimneys,
Well,
160 room and 2,000 doors.
Well, there's room to connect to the hall,
Yeah.
any other room, and you can share a chimney.
That's true. However,
She didn't.
we'll get into it. The price to renovate the mansion over the years that it took was approximately 5.5 million, and that's in 1923 terms. It would be about 71 million today.
Wait, so this was 40 years after everybody dies.
This is the fire. The what do you mean?
So you said $1923.
I think they estimated it after she died.
Oh, she dies in the 20s, and they say, well, according to the receipts, it's this much.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Here I am thinking like, oh, she has her break 40 years later.
No. She started building a year after she moved to California. Like basically as soon as she bought the house.
Okay.
And then she just kept on building. Yeah, $71 million today, which is an insane amount of money. And yet, remember, she had 167 million, so it wasn't even
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah.
Her wealth is insane. Because the Winchester Company made a lot of money.
Yeah.
By the way, you noticed that I said there were approximately 160 rooms because it seems that there might be even more rooms that haven't been discovered.
Oh, damn.
How could that be?
Earthquakes?
That too. The Winchester house is not an ordinary mansion. It is a literal labyrinth and fun house mixed into one.
Okay.
Like this is my own thing. I said like architecture from a dream. Because have you ever had it? Maybe this is just a me experience. I have had dreams before where I'm like in a house and I'll like open the door and it'll lead to like a staircase that leads to like a window. And then like, or I'll like go into a room and it's like an impossibly big room, even though it doesn't look like it would be. You know how dream logic, it makes sense in the dream and then you wake up and you go, wait,
I will take this door to go to hell, knowing that this door, there's no physical way for this door to lead to hell, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. There were 2,000 doors, which breaks down to 12.5 doors per room. However, some of these doors didn't even like lead to a room. They just led to a wall.
Okay.
The most famous is the door on the second floor that opens up to a 20+ foot drop onto the grass below.
Okay.
It's also seems like there was never a balcony or a staircase there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are 47 fireplaces, but only 17 chimneys. Like you said, I'm sure maybe they could have shared chimneys, but also that's ratio still is
the ratio is still a little funky for that.
funky. One room was nicknamed the Hall of Fires because it had 4 fireplaces and 3 air vents for hot air.
Okay.
Yeah. There were 52 skylights, and not all of them were installed in the ceilings.
Okay.
40. I know. That's why I'm saying this is like dream logic.
Are they?
I have no idea. I feel like maybe a skylight in a wall that like you can't even see the sky. You just see like the other room or something. I have to assume or maybe it's a
where
ceiling.
You order something that's classified as skylight, but you do something else for it.
Yeah, or if it's like a skylight on a ceiling, but it leads to like another room up top. Yeah, like a trapdoor of glass. There were also trapdoors, by the way.
All right.
There were 47 stairways, with some with steps just inches apart from each other, some leading into like ceilings. There were 13 bathrooms, and there was only 1 shower.
Okay.
And then there were like interior barred windows. There's just, it's literally, I haven't been to it, and that's my Roman Empire. I literally every year or so I'll go, James, we should go to the Winchester Mystery House. But it's such a trip now, especially that we live on the East Coast.
Yeah. I mean, do you go visit family on the West Coast at all? Then just
but even then, it's a 9-hour drive from my family to San Jose. So we'd have to like really make sure that we plan it, you know?
Fair enough.
But maybe during Christmas.
Yeah, maybe.
Why was the architecture so funky?
Would love to know.
Multiple theories.
Okay.
The most popular and the most intriguing theory is that apparently the medium that Sarah had consulted after William's death told her that the spirits of those who died from the barrel of a Winchester rifle would haunt Sarah.
Okay. That sounds ominous.
Yes. Apparently, the Winchester fortune was considered blood money.
Okay.
And since Sarah had the fortune, she would be the one to face the consequences of the deaths. However, this is what the medium told her. As long as Sarah continued adding to her house, she'd keep the ghosts at bay. And if she stopped building, she would die.
Okay.
So she did just that, building to delay her death, to appease the ghosts, and to possibly escape them. It's theorized that she did a kind of labyrinth maze-like design to confuse the spirits so that they couldn't catch up to her. And I've also heard the rumor that she slept in different rooms every night so that they could, like, she had her favorite rooms, but she wouldn't sleep in the same room multiple nights in a row to kind of confuse the spirits. Supposedly. She also supposedly had a seance room where she would commune with spirits all night about what renovations she would make in the morning.
Okay.
But see, I say supposedly because that doesn't align with the whole, if she's doing the maze to try to confuse the spirits, then why would she
consult them? Because then they know what the deal is. Yeah.
Another, supposedly, is that she would hold parties for spirits in her home, featuring lavish dishes served on gold plates that she kept in her safe. But after her death, they opened her safe, and there were only personal mementos in there, including a lock of her baby's hair. All of the thing where she's very spiritual and building with the ghosts and doing seances and all that is kind of speculation, because as she aged and her health declined, she was more reclusive, and rumors about her started to spread. But if you asked people who were close to her, they said that she really didn't have any interest in seances or superstitions, that she wasn't a superstitious person. But it still is kind of like a why did she build the house that way then?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a common belief that Sarah felt guilt about the Winchester rifle, although this is kind of unlikely because in the 1800s, weapons like guns were just viewed as a means for survival. There wasn't that moral thing. This is my personal theory. And a part of it, I wonder if she kind of kept building as a way to handle her grief and survivor's guilt. Because so many people in her life died in such a short span of time. Yeah. I feel like that would mess with anybody's psyche.
Yeah.
Especially in a time before therapy.
Yeah. And it's also like we are currently in a time in therapy. And I know of at least one situation where it's sort of if I stop the chaos, I will then have to confront the quiet I have to confront the quiet in the chaos. Mm-hmm. But if things never go quiet, then I don't have to live with the quiet.
She also she was an active participant in the construction. She wouldn't just be like, do this and then leave. She would be working with the people.
Yeah.
Not with the hammer herself, but she would be really overseeing it every single day. So I kind of like that theory that you just said of if she's constantly doing something, if she's constantly renovating, then she doesn't have to think about the dark.
Yeah.
In 1906, there was a massive magnitude earthquake. It was a 7.8 earthquake.
Damn.
I know. For those who don't know earthquake measurements.
Like me.
Yeah. I think the earthquake let me look it up. I asked James because he's also from California, and he said 10, but I thought it was 8.
It's 7.9 on the Richter scale.
And
the Richter scale is how much energy is used or happens, I think.
The magnitude, the measurement scale. Listen. Yeah, the Richter scale. But what's the highest that you can go?
I think it's one of those. The scale is sort of, if you go from 7 to 8, that's an increase of however
8 or
much.
yeah.
And
I
then,
think 8 and higher is like it can completely destroy communities. So it was a 7.8, which is like huge. That's terrifying.
yeah.
Hilariously, even though I grew up in California, I'm not as afraid of earthquakes as I am of other natural disasters. I mean, probably because I grew up in California.
Yeah.
But 7.8 is big. Like that's the only big earthquake I lived through was I was a baby. So,
Yeah.
but
I lived through the one in Arlington in 2011.
oh yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah.
What scale was that? Do you know?
Really low. It's like 2 point something.
But it's Arlington, so people were
We're
like, "Oh my god."
yeah, we don't have that. Like, I sincerely thought, like, there was road work going on around the corner, and I sincerely thought that, like, the road workers had hit on a pipe the wrong way or something.
There were so many. I've been through so many 2.5 or less earthquakes, 2-ish, and like I think maybe 5 is like kind of 4, 3 to 4 is average.
Yeah.
But like so many times growing up, driving to work or driving to school or something, it'd be like, "Oh, did you feel the earthquake this morning?" And no, I didn't really.
Yeah.
My favorite earthquake story, besides the fact that I slept through the 94 earthquake, the 1994 earthquake because I was a baby, which is hilarious because I sleep through everything,
Yeah.
is that I remember sitting, this is going to age me. It was high school. I was sitting in my room watching Tosh.0,
Okay.
and I felt like shaking, and I looked to my mirror, and I saw that the mirror was wobbling, and I just kind of like turned back around and keep watching TV. And that was kind of my attitude towards
Yeah.
earthquakes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm literally just Googling magnitude 7 Richter scale. What does it mean?
Oh, it's big. There were a lot of people who died in this. Also, I don't know if they were building with earthquakes in mind in the 1800s. Because nowadays all California buildings, not the modern ones, are built to like sway.
Yeah. I mean, that happens in, I think, Japan specifically as well, because they're also on or near a fault line. And so something we learned in physics class is the more rigid a structure is, the more likely it is to break.
Yes, that's why you also want your cars to crumple,
Yeah.
because that all that force has got to go somewhere.
Yeah. And then sort of laterally, the I think one of the best black belt tests I ever did when it came to board breaking is when I practiced on with my dad holding newspapers rather than my dad holding the boards. Because the newspapers are so much more flexible. And so I had to go harder to feel the impact. And I was used to that scale. From Michigan Tech, magnitude 2.5 or less is usually not felt but can be recorded by a seismograph. There's millions every year. 2.5 to 5.4 is often felt but only causes minor damage. There's about 500,000 every year. 5.5 to 6.0 is slight damage to buildings and other structures. 350 a year.
Oh, I'm on the same
Michigan,
website as you.
6.1 to 6.9 may cause a lot of damage in very populated areas. There's about 100 of those every year. 7.0 to 7.9 major earthquake serious damage, 10 to 15 every year. 8.0 or greater great earthquake can totally destroy communities near the epicenter once every year or two.
Yeah.
So 7 point something earthquake is like once a month, and it really sucks that it's that you're on top of it, basically.
So I am, and don't get me wrong, I am terrified of earthquakes. I know that there's a big one happen. Like I know we're due for one. They've been telling me we're due for a giant earthquake since 4th grade. I don't know why they told a bunch of 9-year-olds. They showed us a video of like the San Francisco earthquake and said, "Yeah, we've been due for one for about 20 years."
Did they tell you about Yellowstone? Because that's also apparently slightly misinformation, but...
Well, no, because I was in California, but I've heard about Yellowstone since then.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been scared of that since I was 9 years old.
So this might be an East Coast thing versus a West Coast thing. Were you ever scared of the Bermuda Triangle? Because I was kind of scared of the Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda Triangle was like spooky, but it had nothing to do with me
Well,
because
and
it's
so
all the
that's-
way on the East Coast.
Well, and that's the thing is like we never necessarily flew over Bermuda or anything.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's sort of like I've experienced one earthquake in high school one time, and but then aside from that, it's like the Bermuda Triangle is much geographically closer to me. So like earthquakes in Yellowstone, Bermuda Triangle.
I know. Yeah. No, that's right. Yellowstone is more of a concern to me because I was on the west, and it's
Yeah.
closer
Anyway.
to that. But
Yeah.
now I can be concerned about all of it, depending on the time of year and
Yep.
where I'm at.
Yep. Anyway,
Okay, so that was a tangent.
that was a tangent.
In 1906, there was 7.8 quake. It led to mass destruction and casualties. There were about 3,000 deaths. And in San Francisco, which was a hop and a skip away from San Jose, about 200,000 people were left homeless.
Because of something that happened like an hour-ish away.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think it was this. Was it the San Francisco earthquake? No, that might have been later.
So was
But-
the epicenter San Jose, or someplace in the middle? And
I
they
think it
both
was
got hurt?
San Fran. But, when there's an earthquake,
It's
it
it's
radiates throughout.
Yeah, like tsunamis sometimes are caused by earthquakes.
Yeah.
And like the
Oh,
energy
that was
ripples
another
out.
thing to be terrified
Yeah.
of. My only comfort was that in my college professor, because I took a class about natural disasters, fun, said that the water on the Pacific, on our side of the Pacific, was cold water, which meant it was less likely. Like you need warm water. That's why tsunamis happen a lot in the
On the other coast.
on
of
the
Pacific.
other side, because the wind and the temperature and the quakes all lead to tsunamis and tidal waves, which you need all three of those in order to do it, which is why,
Yeah.
over on the other
So-
side, they get earthquakes and they get tsunamis and we don't. Back to Winchester House.
Yeah.
Although I could literally talk about natural
We should do a natural
disasters
disaster episode.
every
Anyway.
day.
Yeah.
Okay. The Winchester House was damaged, but it was on a floating foundation, so it wasn't as damaged as other buildings in the area.
So Wobbly being the smart thing here.
Yes, she actually was very into architecture.
Yeah.
I learned. I
Yeah.
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, she actually got inspired by places and like implemented them into her house.
Yeah.
So, during the earthquake, she was in the Daisy Room, which kind of parts of it collapsed, and she was kind of trapped in there, and they had to get her out. And this whole section of the house was damaged, but instead of repairing it, Sarah sealed this section off and then just kept building. After the earthquake, she bought another house closer to her sister and her niece, but she would kind of just go in between the two houses, and construction did not stop until September 5th, 1922. She died in her mansion from heart failure. And right after she died, construction completely ceased. 36 years of construction
Damn.
finally ended.
Damn.
Although Sarah apparently, I mean, there's multiple theories. There's theories that she was very spiritual and believed in spirits, and there's theories that she wasn't. Close family said she wasn't, but despite that, there have been multiple hauntings reported in the Winchester Mansion. It's a museum now that you can go visit, which is why I say I want to go visit it. Well, you can do guided tours. I think you'd have to do guided tours, or you'd get lost.
Yeah. No kidding. I mean, if it's deliberately labyrinthine, then that makes sense.
Exactly. By the way, there's another theory before we get into it. There was another theory, I forgot to mention this, and you mentioned this, that the reason why some stairs lead to nowhere and some rooms lead to nowhere is because the earthquake damaged it. And so it kind of like maybe collapsed some staircases and stuff. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, well, she kind of sectioned off the parts that were damaged.
So maybe
So
not.
maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
It's hard to know. So there's been a few hauntings. Like, for example, there have been multiple sightings of a mustachioed ghost in
Ooh.
19th century clothing that people name Clyde.
Okay.
He's often seen in the basement working with a wheelbarrow or in the ballroom working on a fireplace. Guests comment to tour guides that they appreciate the actors in old-timey clothing, only to learn that no actors have been hired. So there's also photos in hallways of a man resembling Clyde.
Okay.
So maybe he was like one of the employees or workers
Yeah.
that worked on the house for a while.
Yeah.
Sarah's also been said to roam the halls.
That makes sense.
She closed off the Daisy bedroom, right?
Yeah.
But people can still visit it with a guided tour. And so there was a tour guide once who went to go show the Daisy room to a group of people. And the tour guide heard a loud sigh coming from the hallway. So then the tour guide, she went to down the hall to see, like, oh, maybe it's a guest that got lost or like is lagging behind.
Yeah.
And what she saw was a small shadowy figure moving away. Remember,
She's
Sarah
4'10".
was 4'10", which 4 feet 10 inches. What's that in kilometers? Or not kilometers?
Meters?
In meters. I don't know how
She's a
Europe
kilometer
works.
tall. Good grief.
In meters. That's like a meter and a half.
1.473.
Yeah, she was little. So, another ghost story involves an employee who was on a ladder.
Okay.
He felt someone tap his shoulder. He's on a ladder, by the
Yeah.
way. Turns around, no one's there. Okay, turns back around, keeps working. He feels a hand pushing against his back, almost like they were trying to steady him, like support him on the ladder.
Huh.
He packed his bags and left.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah. And I don't know when this happened because I didn't go into the whole, like, after she died, it got sold to this and then sold to this. But there was a couple at some point who lived on the property and said that they were often woken up in the middle of the night by an alarm clock that just would not turn off. Like, it would ring for ages. So, and just like little things like that, there have been people online who have said that they feel ghost presence and things like that. Hold on one second. So, whether or not I haven't been to the Winchester house. I can't tell you if it's haunted. Whether or not you believe it is, that's kind of up to you. There have been people who are like, well, a lot of these can be kind of, dismissed. Like, maybe people think they see a ghost, but really it is just another guest. Also, some of her building choices can kind of be explained. For example, the Hall of Fires was said to be like a sauna, which could help her arthritis because she had arthritis.
Yeah.
So that made sense. Or, yeah, like I said, the earthquake with the hallways and doors. But then again, that kind of doesn't explain. I mean, I don't know. Like, apparently some of the hallways that lead to nowhere and doors lead to nowhere are in the section that were closed off because of the earthquake. But like I said, I haven't personally been there, so I don't have a map of if
Where
all
these-
of them
Yeah.
were in that
Yeah,
section.
Yeah.
Additionally, Sarah had a reputation of being peculiar, which may have stemmed from sources other than her residence. So, like I said, she was reclusive during the last years of her life. But even before that, Sarah was actually pretty progressive. She hired staff from every race.
Okay. I mean, it's the 1880s, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Her head gardener was Japanese, and that this was a time that was very anti-Asian. She paid her workers well. She paid for nearby housing so that their families could live close by. She financed the tuberculosis hospital, which makes sense because her husband died of tuberculosis. She financed a tuberculosis hospital that treated patients from any background regardless of their ability to pay.
Damn.
I know.
Shout out to Sarah Winchester.
Shout out to Sarah. I wanted to end on a high note for Sarah.
Yeah.
Because say what you want about this woman, whether or not she was depressed or crazy or something, but she did a lot to help her community.
Yeah. Regardless of her degree of peculiarity, shout out to Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah. But like I said, we're never going to know why she built the house like that or what her reasoning was. But if you want to, if you're ever in the Bay Area and you feel like going on a tour, check out the Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah. Love that.
And write us and tell us what you think.
I mean, I just got a text from my husband saying the dates were going to be in California next year or this fall, so I might do a field trip.
What are your thoughts on the Winchester House now that you know a little more?
Now that I know a little bit more, I mean, I think of any place that has a chance to be haunted, that's it. Part one. I think also part two, I think she had a lot of potential trouble, mentally, physically, all at least. So I think it could be column A. I think it could be column B, where it's haunted, but also she doesn't necessarily do it because she's haunted. She does it to keep paying people and whatever. But I don't know Sarah personally, so I don't know any of that for sure.
Yeah.
But
either way, she left a legacy.
She left a legacy, indeed. And if you want to support our legacy, support us on Patreon.
Nice segue.
Patreon.com/drearymidnight. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we're at drearymidnightpod. Head to the website because I'm going to finally start updating that this week. drearymidnightpod.com. And if you have a story of your own, haunted hotel, haunted anything, any spooky story you want to share, send us an email, drearymidnightpodcast@gmail.com. With all that said, have you been to Winchester? Also, chaos does not stop the grief.
Oh.
And safe travels home on this dreary midnight. Good night.
Good night.